Twitter.com/SHAUN Fest. Sponsored in part by Virago and by State Farm Insurance Agent Anthony DeGrotto.
In a recent survey of 123,000 wireless customers, Pure Talk was the only wireless company to receive 5 stars in every category: coverage, support, value, and data. What else do you need to know? Switch to Pure Talk today and get any plan, including their top shelf unlimited data plan for just $15 a month for your first 3 months. No contract, no commitment. Dial pound 250, say micro, and let Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team help you make the switch.
Identity theft can cost more than you think. Drained investment accounts, stolen tax returns, lost wages, expenses for lawyers. It's a lot. That's why LifeLock is backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which covers up to $1 million for stolen funds, fees, and experts and lawyers, and out-of-pocket expenses. Don't face the burden of identity theft alone. Protect your future and finances with LifeLock. Join now. Save up to 30% off your first year with promo code BECK at LifeLock.com. 1-800-LifeLock, promo code BECK. LifeLock.com. Terms to apply.
Hi, it's Amy Jacobson, and last year I hired Level 10 Coatings to give my garage floor a total makeover, and I am loving it. It still looks great, shiny, and clean. Level 10 Coatings. Now, you've got to call these guys if your garage floor is cracked, stained, still covered in salt. Don't live like that. Get it done now so you can enjoy it this summer. Level 10 Coatings. They're fast, reliable, and highly professional. Guess what? I went to work. When I came home, it was done. A shiny, new, gleaming garage floor. A quick, easy fix, and it's guaranteed never to chip or peel. Why? It's not an epoxy job. It's better. Level 10 uses polyurea, which is much better than epoxy. So schedule your free quote today and mention me, Amy, to receive $500 off. Visit level10coatings.com. That's level, the number 10, coatings.com, or call 855-510-2628. Staff are local and ready to answer questions. Level 10 Coatings, your premier concrete coating experts.
It's peaceful here. Quiet. But it wasn't always. Here, the past isn't confined to textbooks or museums. It's in the soil, a pulse within the earth. Here, you can walk in step with history, where others once marched towards the unknown. The past is never really behind us. It's here, under our feet. The land never forgets the stride of the weary or the reach of the hopeful. The land remembers. And so does the American Battlefield Trust, dedicated to preserving America's hallowed battlegrounds. Now, on our nation's 250th birthday, become a member so the next acre becomes the next chapter. The next chapter becomes the next lesson. Join the Trust. Protect the future. Go to battlefields.org.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Goldilocks, offering smart security systems to homes and businesses. Call Goldilocks at 708-889-5600.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
The following live program is sponsored by Breakthrough Ideas.
AM 560, The Answer. It's time for breaking news, expert insight, and informed commentary on what's happening in Springfield, Chicago, and beyond. Because an informed citizenry is the only way to protect our republic. It's time for The Real Story with Jeannie Ives and Amy Jacobson.
Short one. All right. Hey, welcome. It's my 5th hour of radio. It's fun. Yeah, it's fun.
That's that was good this morning. I listened into Mary, of course, about abortion up until giving birth, and then, of course, the Guy Higgins, the captain of the U.S. Navy, who's retired.
Yeah, Sean texted me after that one, and he had a point. In case you did hear the interview that I had with Guy Higgins, he's a retired Navy captain, 4,300 flight hours. That's a lot of flight hours. 5 deployments. He's a Navy Academy graduate, and we were talking about the USS Lincoln situation, and everybody wants to recognize the sacrifice of these folks that are living on a ship, 250 days at sea, no returning to the shore whatsoever, no shore time. I mean, it is grueling. That has got to be grueling. But
Didn't you sign up for it though?
They did sign up for it, and you know what? And this is I've been on an aircraft carrier. We got to go on Family Day on the USS Bush when my son was assigned to the Bush, and they came back. They had Family Day, and we went all around the ship. It's massive. It is a floating city,
right? And
it can easily house 5,000 people. That's what it's built for. 5,000 sailors, and sailors and Marines, because of course they have to be separate.
Exactly.
But the point is that, yeah, there's an op tempo that is greater than normal. They're under a lot of stress because, again, they're in a combat situation. They are having to, they are sending planes off the flight deck into
very
combat.
Dangerous.
Absolutely. And at the same time, they are guarding against attacks on that aircraft carrier as well. So it is. I'm not going to diminish it at all. Not one bit. However, these people have full communications. They have internet hookup. They can talk to people over FaceTime. I mean, my son, he'll be sitting on a ship. He'll call me. He'll call me on my cell phone. It's not like it's World War II situations here. So
right, but they're claiming that they needed, the deployment was too long, and at some point in time, you got to go back and recharge and.
Well, I mean, and fortunately, Captain Higgins went into, the budgeting process. We are budgeting to a budget number, not budgeting to our needs, was his bottom line. He's absolutely right about that. We have substantially less ships than we had before. We need more ships, but we also need more personnel as well. And even though the Navy has met the recruiting goals 3 months earlier than the end of the fiscal year, so they met them in June instead of the end of September, it doesn't mean that we have enough personnel for all the rotations, all the long deployments that need to happen, giving people some shore time, all of that. You just need a lot more personnel to make that happen. You also need a lot more shipbuilding assets out there because we do need more aircraft carriers. We have 11. We need a lot more than that. At least 14, I think, is the number that they're looking at. So
did they have a food shortage?
Here.
I mean, CNN was claiming that there's a food shortage. There's a lack of feminine products on the USS Boxer. My friend's son's on the USS Boxer. She said they're fine. Everything's fine. So do you believe CNN? Do you believe President Trump?
Do you think that this is a disaffected soldier or sailor that does not like President Trump potentially, or maybe his family doesn't, or maybe he's just one of those complainers? You got them in your unit.
Right.
They're everywhere. You've always got those folks. I mean, to go to the point, though, where you're going to actually jump ship, that's a big deal.
Right.
There's a mental health issue going there. I mean, I had a soldier go crazy on me. She had to be hospitalized and then, taken out of the military, But they do. And she's sitting in Germany. I mean, give me a break.
Oh, and she just had a mental breakdown.
Mental breakdown. It happens. So, but as far as the food, like my son's job was to fly. He was like the Uber and the Amazon delivery to the boat. So food and fresh food and mail and supplies and equipment and munitions, whatever. That's what they did, and they do resupply them.
Yeah,
on a regular basis.
I just don't trust CNN, obviously. And anytime they can bash Trump or make up stories to make him look bad, I think they go for it. And I think that's the reason why this whole thing was, blown up over the weekend.
Yeah, well, somebody else who likes to bash Trump a lot is, of course, J.B. Pritzker. And I don't know if I see that clip there that I was looking for.
Oh, yeah, I have it right here.
You have the clip?
Yeah, his latest attack on President Trump.
Here's a recent attack on President
Justice
Trump.
under law is a tenet so foundational to our justice system in this country that we've engraved it at the entrance of the Supreme Court. That fundamental precept of our constitutional republic is erased. It may be gone forever. Donald Trump's takeover of the justice system with Trumpian prosecutors and judicial appointments is nearly a foregone conclusion. Our common understanding that we've had for so many years that no one is above the law is no longer valid. What we all know is that the rule of law doesn't survive on tradition alone. It doesn't perpetuate unless each generation of Americans chooses to protect it. Now, in 2026, comes our moment of truth for this country.
Oh, please.
312-642-5600. That is our phone line. You can also text us on that.
So that's his latest attack ad against President Trump. And everybody's wondering, like, hey, this is the big news. Pritzker now has given himself and his campaign another $65 million, bringing the total to his self-funded campaigns to $439 million since 2018 campaign launch.
$65 million he gave himself. Is he worried about
in 2026?
Wait.
Just now.
Yesterday he gave himself his campaign $65 million. But why? 312-642-5600. I mean, is he really concerned about Darren Bailey winning this governor's race? I mean, Darren Bailey did show up, by the way, on Channel 5 yesterday, but Jeannie was in the C block, which right before sports and the kicker is on the way out, because he's debating, he wants to eliminate the Illinois tollway system. He doesn't want to hike. He wants to get rid of it completely. That's what he did.
Okay. Well, that's great. I mean,
because the Illinois tollway, the board votes today on these ginormous increases. You said yesterday, your family has spent $1,000 on tolls in a year.
That's just like my husband and I, $1,000 on tolls. I had no idea, because here's the other problem. It's just like escrowing your property taxes, right? When you don't write that check, or you don't write the check for your child's education at the public school, but it comes out of this big account that's related to your property taxes, then guess what? You just don't even understand how much it's actually costing you.
But the Illinois tollway collected $1.3 billion more than it needed for maintenance last year. And they're still pursuing this 57% toll hike. And then people ask why. It's because Pritzker needs to buy labor union support for a Chicago mass transit bailout. That's why we're doing this. And that's why you and your family, $1,000. So next year, it starts in January, the toll hike. So that $1,000 is essentially going to jump to $2,000.
Yeah, well, I mean, he does say in this Capital News article, it does say that some of the $65 million will go to other candidates and causes. The governor's campaign last week transferred $1.5 million to the Democratic Party of Illinois, for example. I think he's given Juliana Stratton $10 million from previous funds that he had. So he's going to be funding the local organizations, legislative and statewide candidates, because he wants to make it very, very comfortable for him as he starts his third term, if he were to be elected again. And he wants all of his friends with him there in the House and in the Senate, and that's what he's going to do, is fund them. But I also think there's another thing. The ad that we just played is an attack ad. Obviously, he paid somebody to have that done. And it wasn't that sophisticated of an ad, but he still paid somebody to put that together. I think part of the money that he's spending right now is to basically give him a profile and an image and allow him to just relentlessly attack Trump without having to put it into a federal campaign account as he tries to vie for some position on the ticket in 2028. That's my feeling.
So here's the deal. So to run for vice president, you have to run for president.
Pretty much.
And I could see him, since his estimated worth is $4.2 billion. So $65 million is really nothing for him. But so to run for president, and actually you're positioning yourself to be vice president, because whoever the leader is, he can go up and say, I will give you $1 billion. That's how desperate he is to be loved, to get another job. Because you can tell the press conference he was at yesterday, they did a cutaway shot of him. He looks bored. I don't think his heart's in this to be governor again. 12 years. I mean, who in the hell thought in a million years he could be our governor for 12 years? If he wins again in November, that's what it's going to be.
Well, he knew he had to run again. He couldn't just step away if he wanted to run in 2028. At least in his mind, I think that he thought that he had to run, and that why not do that? Stay in the public light. But if he does win, whoever is governor after November, they have a one tough job trying to put this state back in the right footing financially. We are not headed for good times in this state. Even the global economy is not going to save us. The national economy is not going to save us, and it's doing pretty well. Your stock portfolio is doing great right now. Sure, the bond market's a little shaky, but things are going fine. for most people. But I tell you what, the chickens are going to come home to roost in Illinois. And he's not going to want to have to deal with budgets going out 2 or 3 years. Let's talk to George in Naperville quick.
Hello, George.
Yes, ladies, do we know if our ships at sea are supplied with enough Grey Poupon?
We don't know, George. Thank you for the call.
George with a pithy comment, always.
Yes.
Well, one thing, and also, I don't know if you saw, Mayor Johnson was at Martha's Vineyard, and our tax dollars paid for him to be on this panel in Martha's Vineyard, and he was on with this podcaster, Let's Be Clear, Jamal Bryant podcast. Have you heard of it, Jeannie?
No.
And listen to this. He declared that the aerial bombardment of Gaza, and he compared that to tax dollars being taken away from black neighborhoods.
Before it was mainstream and popular to describe it as such, I called it what it was then. And we should not only be absolutely concerned about the relationship, we should be devastated by the acts that has brutalized innocent people. The Palestinian people do not deserve by no means what is happening to them. And so whether it's a bomb that is dropped on Palestinians or whether it's dollars being withdrawn out of black communities and injustice anywhere, help me somebody.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, $600 million in tax dollars from black neighborhoods. They took that out to spend on illegals. So just keep that in mind. And people don't realize that. But
yeah, well, I mean, why don't voters wake up? I mean, Brandon Johnson, seriously? Hey, when's he going to announce the petition season keeps on keeping on?
I mean, there's no way.
Do you think he's going to, Amy?
I honestly, my heart of hearts, I do not think he is going to run. Because would you? I mean, if you are dependent on the black vote, and in the black communities, that University of Chicago poll, only 12.9% want him to run again. But I don't think Janulius is the answer. Oh, his big thing, Janulius, by the way, he wants $22 minimum wage. Yeah.
Well, he's just under Juliana Stratton. She wanted $25 minimum wage,
On a federal level.
He's just a little bit more moderate than Juliana Stratton, okay? All right, we'll be right back. We'll take your calls, 312-642-5600.
You're listening to The Real Story with Jeannie Ives and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Summer in Chicago, and if you don't want to spend it painting, join your neighbors and call Rhino Shield.
It looks amazing. It looks like a Teflon coating on there.
We're very excited that we don't ever have to paint again.
We chose it because of the fact that we saw a house that had done it, and I just went, that's something I'd like to have done to my house.
Rhino Shield ceramic technology is formulated specifically for our unique climate right here in Chicago and stands up to our extreme temperature swings.
I would highly recommend Rhino Shield. You can't beat the 25-year transferable warranty, by the way.
Let me put it this way. I haven't had any complaints. And as the president of the association, that's the best part.
All right, Chicago, it's time you join your neighbors and get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 10% off the regular price.
For anybody that's skeptical about putting Rhino Shield on your house, take a real close look at it. The warranty, 25 years, is something that I just don't think you can beat.
This offer is for a limited time, so call now, 847-850-1132 or ChicagoRhinoShield.com.
Go Rhino Shield!
Step right up and see the magnificent Beck sofa at Penny Mustard.
What's with this circus getup?
Ever seen a clown car?
With clowns that keep climbing out one after another?
Exactly. The Beck sofa is Penny Mustard's clown car.
How so?
The Beck's appears to be a petite, apartment-sized sofa.
Yeah.
But it can hold contortionists, lion tamers, and the ringmaster too.
Step right up and see the Beck sofa, starting at $1977 at Penny Mustard.
Now open in Algonquin.
PennyMustard.com.
The mainstream media isn't just biased. They're hiding stories from you, deliberately. Restoration News is changing that. With elite researchers and fearless writers, Restoration News is the conservative media force fighting back in the information war for America's future. Download the Restoration News mobile app today or visit restoration-news.com. That's restoration-news.com. Real stories, real truth. It's time you knew what they don't want you to know.
AM 560. The Answer.
Jeannie Ives going on 5 hours.
Yeah.
I think one time I did 8 hours radio in one day. And I came home and I said, nobody talked to me.
Did you want to talk to anybody after 8 hours of talking?
No, absolutely not.
I didn't think so.
Nope, I was out.
Yeah.
Well, Chief,
the Florida elections were interesting. We covered a little bit with at the first opening this morning, in case you missed it. But you have this whack job, Angie Nixon. So they have gone. They did elect. Some of the Democrats did elect DSA candidates in Florida. However, some of their people, like Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who is just as progressive and just as wacky, but not quite full DSA.
Yes.
She also won hers in her new redesigned district that's actually very black in racial makeup. She did win, so she's in. But this lady, Angie Nixon,
tell me
she's
about
a
her.
nut job. This is her on the Florida House floor just a couple, I think 2 months ago. And this is her rant about them redoing their new districts. Listen to this. Oh, my gosh.
I will not allow you to destroy our democracy. That is a violation of the Constitution. It is. It's a violation of the Constitution. I'm out of order, but y'all are doing illegal things to the state of Florida. It is out of order. It is out of order. It is out of order.
So she kept doing that until they stopped her. A hot pink suit with a megaphone prancing up and down the floor of the Florida House. And she is the Democrat nominee for U.S. Senate in Florida.
Can you imagine being married to that?
No.
I mean, or that mom. Can you get a hold of your emotions?
No. So fortunately, Ashley Moody, who took the place, replaced
Marco Rubio.
Yeah. She is the Republican nominee, so that's going to work out for her really well.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can't imagine that they'd bring in that unhinged woman.
And Dan will probably talk about it tomorrow, but in his particular congressional district, because see, Byron Donalds also won the Republican nomination for governor, trying to replace DeSantis, who I think he's going to be hard to replace. Quite frankly, he's done such a remarkable job on the fiscal side of things, on cutting out DEI, on protecting people against illegal immigrants and all that stuff. Think about it. You had Alligator Alcatraz.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's done a lot of really good stuff. He's going to be a tough act to follow, in my opinion, because he's made so many incredible cuts. And he's made so many great initiatives like on property tax reform and whatnot. So, but Byron Donalds' seat was open.
Right.
10 Republicans running in it, including a bunch of recycled out-of-state political guys. That includes Jim Oberweis.
Wait, he's back? He ran again?
He put $5 million into that race. I think he put more into his congressional race in Florida than he put into his congressional race in the state of Illinois.
Remember when he was the winner for a while before he got ousted? And I saw him on a plane and he had a congressional hat on because he had just come from, I was in D.C. for something. I was flying back to O'Hare and he was on my plane because he went to the orientation.
Yeah.
Not knowing, but then he didn't end up winning.
Well, the guy who won is Jim Schwartzel, and he won by about 29% of the vote. Again, a really, really crowded primary, 10 candidates. The next person who had the highest percentage, Catalina Lauf.
Wait, she's back too?
She's also in Florida, in Naples. And Trump just endorsed her about 4 days ago. But it wasn't enough because she actually, I guess, won day of voting. For that district.
But with the mail-in ballots, that took her out?
She did not have enough. It was not enough momentum at the end of there, but she could have.
So
it's
who's
just so
the
ridiculous.
third person? So we've Oberweis, Catalina Lauf.
Yeah, and then there's Cawthorn, who is this young kid out of North Carolina who did one term in Congress and then just left in a wave of scandals. I don't know what it was. I can't quite remember, but yeah, 847. Yes, Oberweis was in that race. I just covered that. So he was in from North Carolina, and then there's another guy in from New York. I can't remember his name too. So he had like 4 out-of-state recycled politicians trying to win this congressional district that Donalds vacated to go ahead.
But
and take the
Oberweis has a
governor.
home there, right? I mean,
They all
Calhoun.
have to have
Yeah.
a home there because they all have to be residents to represent that.
Naples is the new suburb of Chicago, don't you know?
I guess so. I just, the Schwartzel guy who won, he was born and raised in Naples. I think it's better to have like a hometown guy represent you. In my
Got
opinion.
a text message from somebody in Florida. That woman, Angie Nixon, she sounds like my wife.
I'm sorry, dude.
I can't wait to see a debate between her and Ashley Moody. That'll be good. I'm sure she's going to wipe the floor with her.
Yeah, Ashley, you don't want to elevate a lesser candidate, but in this case, maybe the contrast would actually help even more from the national point of view in elevating how wacky these DSA candidates are. And we do need that. It's always been the question. Do we want to platform these folks, or do we want to just push them away?
And remember, DSA membership, 85% white, and the average age is 33, and 80% of them have college degrees, mostly grad students. And so, these aren't factory workers or people with master's degrees in sociology, and they think their agenda is about affordability and all. And I think it's because they just don't want to get a job and they want everything for free. That's what they want. And I'm hearing it from my oldest son too, and I'm really getting concerned. He's like, I can't stand capitalism, and like, sit down and let's talk about this. I mean, please, you just want handouts? He's like, well, the rich should pay their fair share. Like, the rich already paid their fair share.
Well, this 23-year-old who is worth $20 million, his name's Emil Barr. He started up some social media company. He's out there in the Wall Street Journal op-ed today, essentially saying, guess what? Guess who also wants socialism? Conservative kids want socialism too, because they feel like they're getting left behind. That's a dangerous proposition. So parents, we have our jobs to do still. I mean, my kids, I think your kids are doing well. They're not buying into any of that, but other people need to step up.
All right, coming up, Watchdog Wednesday.
Sean Fest returns on August 28th at the Westin Chicago Northwest in Itasca. Be a part of a live, on-location broadcast of The Sean Thompson Show, including a performance of the national anthem, followed by live music, food, drinks, and an opportunity to meet Sean Thompson. Registration is free. Go to 560theanswer.com/SeanFest. That's 560theanswer.com/SHAUN Fest. Sponsored in part by LeavingIL.com and by Unique Wooden Flags.
News. I'm Gianna Gelosi. Socialists swinging for the fences. Angie Nixon beating retired Lieutenant Colonel Alex Vindman by double digits for Florida's Democratic nomination for Senate.
Nixon gained national attention after her arrest for staging a sit-out outside Governor Ron DeSantis' office this year. She'll now face an uphill battle in November against Republican Senator Ashley Moody.
Fox's Dana Marie McNichol, Republican Byron Donalds, and Democrat David Jolly going to face off for governor. Meantime, Canada avoided a 50% tariff that was supposed to go into effect today. President Trump delayed them.
He says the United States and Canada have agreed a trade deal, and the two countries just need time to finalise the documents. There's been a cross-border impasse on several issues, including US tariffs on cars and many Canadian provinces banning American liquor sales.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. America's listening to Fox News.
Now, your official weather forecast.
This afternoon, expect a mix of clouds and sun with a high of 79. Tonight will be partly cloudy with a low of 63. Tomorrow will bring mostly sunny skies, pleasant conditions, and lower humidity with a high of 80. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina on AM 560, The Answer.
Get the latest weather, traffic, and news updates online at 560theanswer.com.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and newnordicusa.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Signature, a division of Esquire Bank, offers Chicago businesses relationship-first banking. Signature knows your name and your story because personalized banking still matters. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature is where I do my business banking.
Hi, I'm Phil Silverman, CFO of Chicago Atlantic and a client of Signature. We provide capital solutions in markets where risk is often fundamentally mispriced and traditional financing can be limited. At Chicago Atlantic, success depends on experience, responsiveness, attention to detail, and an entrepreneurial mindset. That's exactly what we found with Signature. Their team understands how we operate, supports our growth, and delivers the kind of personal service that's increasingly rare in banking today. And that's exactly why we bank with Signature.
Signature helps local businesses succeed. Want to learn how Signature can help turn your business vision into reality? Call Signature, a division of Esquire Bank, at 773-467-5600 or visit signature.esquirebank.com. Esquire Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
All right. You know I don't push products I don't believe in, so listen up because this one I love and recommend to friends and listeners. It's Virago Liquid Immune Support. I'm around kids all the time, and knock on wood, I haven't gotten sick, and I attribute that to Virago because they carry a lot of germs. Now, I spoke with Dr. Huber, the creator of Virago, and he will be at Sean Fest. And I want to tell you, he knows his immune health like nobody's business. He really cares about people, and that's why he created Virago. It's a liquid immune boosting supplement packed with 23 powerful nutraceuticals working together in synergy. It's antiviral, antioxidant, and the best is it's anti-inflammatory. So if you do have chronic pain, part of pain is swelling. But Virago, I've been taking it. My swelling is down, and I can move and golf and do things. And I'm so happy that I don't have shoulder pain anymore. And you know what? It even protects your heart, kidneys, and liver, says Dr. Huber. And because it's a liquid, your body absorbs it quickly. Now, I mix my Virago in with my smoothies and my orange juice in the morning, and I feel the difference, and you will too. So do not wait. Order your bottle of Virago today. Real simple. Go to myvirago.com. That's myVIROGO.com. Use coupon code IMMUNE to save 30%. Start feeling better. Be proactive. Do something for yourself. myvirago.com. Coupon code IMMUNE.
When your joints hurt every day and you've been told you need surgery, do your homework. Once a joint is replaced, there's no going back. Hey, it's Dan Proft. Before you schedule surgery, get a second opinion from my friends at QC Kinetics. I personally recommend them. Whether you're dealing with pain from bone-on-bone arthritis, torn meniscus, or years of wear and tear, surgery isn't your only conversation. Talk to Dr. Caravelli and her team at QC Kinetics. They use regenerative treatments to deliver relief to patients like you. You'll start with a medical evaluation, reviewing your history, any imaging, and the actual source of pain. If you're a good candidate, they'll concentrate tiny healing tools within your body right in the spot that's causing pain. The whole idea is to give you a real shot at holding off on surgery, or in some cases, avoiding it altogether. Don't accept surgery as your only option. Call QC Kinetics today for a second opinion. The conversation and consultation are free, and weekend appointments are available. Call 312-827-6261. Again, 312-827-6261. Once more, call 312-827-6261.
Hi, I'm Ken Mariotti, owner of Woodland Windows and Doors, a third-generation family-owned business since 1969. We know you're bombarded by choices when shopping for new windows or doors, so we're inviting you to experience the Woodland difference. For decades, we have been transforming living spaces with Marvin Windows, a fifth-generation family business. Marvin replacement windows have been known to increase the warmth of your cold rooms by 10 degrees. Think about that, 10 degrees warmer. When you welcome Woodland into your home, you will get a product expert to transform your living spaces, full-time, dedicated professional installers that you can trust in your home, along with the best products like Marvin. These are the reasons we're proud of our 5-star reviews and family legacy. No gimmicks, no pressure, and upfront pricing are why Woodland Windows and Doors is your trusted window and door expert in Chicagoland. Visit woodlandwindows.com to book your free in-home expert consultation. That's woodlandwindows.com, or stop by our showroom at the corner of Lake and Geary in Roselle.
This hourly segment is sponsored by Saving the American Dream with Jim Martyr, Faith, Family, Freedom, this Saturday evening at 7 on AM 560, The Answer.
AM 560, The Answer.
Just wrapping up our conversation on Florida. Got a text message. Says,
oh, no.
Here we go. Was Sean their realtor in Florida? Meaning Oberweiss's and Catalina Loff and everybody. But remember, I mean, and he's running, Byronson is running against David Jolly for governor of Florida. And he used to be a Republican. So that's interesting that he changed parties. But.
Yeah, it is. So Governor Pritzker, he's trying to make up for just being absent when it really mattered. And so he's got a lot of things going out on his Twitter feed about how he's just helping out with those people. Yeah. I don't actually believe it.
Well, 2 days ago, because you have Governor Braun from Indiana, who's already gotten the ball rolling. He's been out assessing storm damage. A week and a half ago, came back again. And here's Governor Pritzker yesterday. He's dragging his feet. Get off your you-know-what and do something for the people of Illinois.
We do in every circumstance where there is the possibility that we could get federal money to support local, residents as well as communities.
Well, yesterday he finally followed the lead of Governor Braun and declared a state of emergency for Illinois for certain counties because of the storm damage. And in Indiana, real quick, here's Governor Braun, and he's with Whitman, who's the Homeland Security Director of the state of Indiana. They went back not once, Jeannie, but twice to get FEMA federal funding for the people of Indiana. Same storm hit Illinois and Indiana, but the Indiana government officials are helping their people.
We know that's going to provide immediate assistance for homeowners that have those immediate needs. So get back into your home, repair your roof, get a new refrigerator, those things that can get you back to life as quickly as possible.
$5,000 check to anyone who was displaced or had storm damage in Northwest Indiana. That's big money because remember when the fires happened in Maui?
Yeah.
Biden wrote them an $800 check. What is $800 going to do?
Yeah, so he's finally kind of getting on board with Lansing, put out a disaster declaration and all that. He also sent a letter to Pete Hegseth.
Why?
Writing to express his deep concern for the 5,000 brave men and women aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln. In recent weeks, reports, including many directly from the families of the service members on board, maybe they shouldn't have a communication zone. Anyway, have detailed shortages of food and basic supplies, broken plumbing, unsanitary and hazardous conditions, serious safety concerns, and deteriorating mental health amid Okay.
So he got the memo from CNN.
Okay, all right. But I want to bring in Kirk Allen now, Edgar County Watchdog, because it is the Watchdog Wednesday segment time. Kirk, he doesn't seem too concerned about Kansas water.
Say that again?
I said the Pritzker seems he's more concerned about USS Abraham Lincoln than he is about the water in Kansas,
Illinois.
Yeah, the water in Kansas is fine.
Oh, it is.
Are you being facetious?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. It's so bad. I mean, where do you even begin? The money he throws around all over this state. And there's communities that have absolute serious health problems. I mean, we've got, just from a reference, in one block, there's over 9 cases of pancreatic cancer over the last 14 years. Now, that's not a coincidence, in my opinion. No. I believe that's an environmental-related item, and nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to address it.
Yeah, that's a problem. Well, that's
like
the
Aaron
entire
Brockovich
point.
movie.
You've got 400,000 service lines in Chicago that still have lead in them, and that's not a priority either. Instead, he wants to write a letter to Pete Hegseth. Give me a break.
Right. He needs to focus on Illinois, not what's going on in the rest of the nation.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Anyway, it is Watchdog Wednesday. Did you have a story for us, or should we turn to John Kraft because that Kankakee School District one is outstanding?
Well, I'll be real quick. I went to the last Kansas Village meeting. Fortunately, we got there early, and they were having a public hearing that was not posted, no agenda. And when I questioned them on it, the engineer that was giving the hearing says, well, we do this all over the place and nobody's ever had a problem with, agenda or posting the meeting. They had no regard for the simplest, most basic of the Open Meetings Act.
Yeah,
so if they're going to, when they take, go ahead.
Well, no, so we're back to they break the law and nobody prosecutes that at all. The same conversation we had this morning with, about the BGA president and the Trib all wanting some new ethics laws or new procedures when they don't enforce what we already have on the books.
Right.
Yeah. So what did you do?
When there's no
what did you do?
accountability-
Did you do a citizen's arrest on them? This is an illegal meeting.
Well, I suggested that they need to be arrested. I turned to the police officer and I handed him the statute that outlines it's a crime, and I asked him to do his job.
And he stood down.
Oh, of course he didn't do his job.
Mm-hmm. So then what do you do as a citizen? Where do you go to? You go complain to Kwame Raoul's office, and then nothing happens either?
Yeah, right. You file a complaint with the Attorney General, and they'll slap their hand again and say you violated the Open Meetings Act. You can't do what you did, and everything's fine. And the Illinois Municipal League talks about this. They tell folks, well, there's really no punishment. So when there's no teeth in it, yeah, you're going to have people complain, but just move on.
Yeah, at least with the FOIA law, there is punishment because they financially can get, if you win, they will have to pay legal fees for that. So there's some
Correct.
teeth in that one. Opens Meeting Act, though, I thought you said there was it's a misdemeanor or something.
It's a Class C misdemeanor, but we're back to state's attorneys that won't prosecute.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know how we get past this if people aren't going to follow the law because they're elected to do that. That's what they are supposed to do. So.
Well, they take an oath of office, but that doesn't seem to mean anything either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's no teeth when you violate your oath of office.
Well, what did they do? Because they voted to pay, this is Kankakee School District 111, voted to pay a fine for a board member. Can you walk us through that?
John?
Evidence anyway. There's a school board member that obviously didn't submit her statement of economic interest on time, and the state law requires that all statements of economic interest be filed with the clerk, whether it's a Secretary of State or for local government, it's generally the county clerk, by May the 1st of each year. And then it spells out what the clerk has to do if they're not filed on time. It's supposed to send out a letter telling them late. If they file by May 15th, then it's a $15 fine. And any time after May the 15th, if they file it, it's $100 per day for each day. It's not filed starting on May the 16th and continuing until the day it's filed. And then if they don't file it by May 31st, the state's attorney is supposed to file a quo warranto and kick them out of office. But that obviously didn't happen in this case. And at the school board meeting, they didn't say which school board member, and they didn't say how much the fine was. They just said, let's vote to pay the fine for this tardy statement of economic interest for a board member. And 4 out of the majority voted in favor of it, and it should have never happened. It's a personal bill.
Yeah.
It's the obligation of the individual board member. How they can do that is beyond me.
Well, okay. So 7 board members, I'm assuming, right?
4 of them voted in favor.
1 board member failed to do what he or she should have done. 1.
Correct.
The other 6 got it right.
Yeah.
I know when I was a state legislator, we always were like, they were honest to get it in on time. Always. If you don't put your statement of economic interest in on time when you file your petition packet to run for office, it's an automatic, you're off the ballot. It's that important to the entire process. So this 1 board member,
and why don't we know her name or his name?
They haven't published it yet. I don't know why.
Okay, well, we hopefully we get that name and we let people know. And then his or her board members say they're going to pay this personal fine themselves using taxpayer money. You can't.
Yeah, they're not going to pay it.
Up.
They're going to use taxpayer money to pay it. Yeah, taxpayer money, not their money.
Okay, well, where's the state's attorney? Because they could have prosecuted this as a theft of taxpayer money. They could have prosecuted it. They could have forced the person to be kicked off the board because they never filed it in a timely manner. Actually, the four board members should be also, they should be under scrutiny right now. Prosecutors should be prosecuting them for misuse of taxpayer money. They authorized a misuse of taxpayer money. It's so clear.
I think the state's attorney will, at a minimum, get that money back. He's been good at things like that in the past, and I don't think he's changed. And I think he's probably already sent him a letter asking him what the hell's going on.
How much money are we talking?
I think it's like $2,100. If you calculate the $100 per day fine back to May 16th, that's about what it comes out at.
Yeah. Then again, do you think that one of the school district's lawyers were involved in saying, "Oh, this is an okay thing to spend money on. You can do this"? What do you think?
The board chairman's a lawyer.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so it wasn't for lack of legal understanding of what they could or could not do. They just decided to do it using taxpayer money. And by the way, as far as I'm concerned, that's everybody's money because we help fund the schools too. Money's fungible.
Yeah. Speaking of schools and money, did you hear about Paxton?
No, let's hear that one.
The treasurer of the Paxton Buckley Loda School District Choral Boosters Club was arrested for theft of over $25,000 because she was making ATM withdrawals and Cash App money transfers, more than 60 of them, between January 26th and August 17th of this year. So she was arrested on the 18th, which was yesterday, and the police department put out a press release today. So she's being charged with a Class 2 felony of theft between $10,000 and $100,000.
Wow. Are they going to seize some of her assets?
My opinion, when you steal from the government, they should just seize everything you own and sell it, and get the money back. Oh. At a minimum, if they're not going to put you in jail, which they won't around here, they just take everything you own and sell it and get the money back for the government. Is
she an employee of the school district, or just the treasurer of this? She's
just the treasurer of the Choral Booster Club. So I don't think that means you have to
be an
employee. But it doesn't matter. They at least they caught it within 60 or 80 days.
Yeah, but clearly she wasn't properly vetted.
Yeah, and well, I'm not going to say what the mugshot looks like, but
well, tell us what the mugshot. What's her name? I'll look up at her mugshot.
Well, I mean, this is just hopefully.
No, seriously, what's her name?
Tara L. Long.
Okay. Well,
that makes it harder because then people don't want to donate money to booster clubs.
No,
because when you have this kind of bad behavior, it hurts everybody.
And if you don't have children in the choral club, you shouldn't be the treasurer of the booster club.
Yeah, I would agree with that too, because you probably don't really care what happens with the money. Okay, so I'm going to be curious to find out what does happen to her, having stole $25,000 allegedly, compared to the Wileys who stole $225,000 admittedly, and really nothing happened to them. So hopefully you're going to continue to follow that story.
Oh, we will, but she's not an elected official, so she'll probably get hammered in the courts and jail. Well,
that would be another interesting contrast too. Dealing with unelected people one way and elected folks another way. That can't be the case.
Exactly.
That cannot be the case.
Can I say something about the Navy and the lack
please.
of food?
Yes, say something, please.
It was a different era when I was in and when you were in. We went for weeks on end, sometimes months, without even a bed, let alone proper food, and absolutely no plumbing. and I don't know what they're complaining about.
All right. Okay. All right. That's all we got time for. Thanks a lot. We've got thanks to John and Kirk for joining us on The Real Story.
Don't believe the official narrative? You've got The Real Story on AM 560. The Answer.
Now that summer is here, it's time for some summer home maintenance.
That's cold!
Hot water issues? Call Center Guard Plumbing. Right now, get a new 40-gallon atmospheric vent water heater installed for just $1,295 standard installation, or a 50-gallon for $1,395 standard installation, with free haul away of your old tank. A proud sponsor of AM 560, you'll save hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on tankless and atmospheric vent water heaters with Center Guard Plumbing. Plus, get 10% off any licensed plumbing contractor competitor's price. Center Guard Plumbing is Chicagoland's same-day water heater experts. Call before noon, and they can schedule your repair or install the same day on in-stock water heaters. You're only a text away from install today. Call 847-406-8883. Mention AM 560 to receive summer special pricing. That's 847-406-8883. Call or text 847-406-8883 or visit centerguardplumbing.com.
Scott Jennings fearlessly fights back against the mainstream media on the Scott Jennings podcast.
So the Democratic message for the 2026 midterm is, we don't love America. That's it. The message from the left is, as long as people that we don't like are allowed to win elections, we hate America. That's a heck of a thing to be running an election on. We hate America.
Subscribe for free today on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, or SalemPodcastNetwork.com.
Whether you are old or young, no one likes to lose money. The market is at an all-time high. How much risk does your portfolio really have in it? Are you worried that you could lose your hard-earned money? Call TJ Stearns in Arlington Heights at 800-640-2256 for your free risk report. Call right now and we will include a full analysis of your portfolio. Don't wait until it's too late. Call TJ Stearns, a local and longtime sponsor on AM 560. Call 800-640-2256. Call now and tell him AM 560 sent you.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right. Welcome back.
Yeah, you're doing really well, Jeannie. Come on. Finish strong, as coaches always say. But I have to tell you, Judge Evans, you know him. Mm-hmm. Judge Evans. He used to be an alderman, and now, he's leaving.
Chief judge, right?
Yeah, Chief Judge, Judge Evans, who is, he's a bit of a liar. He's telling people that the cashless bail is bringing crime down. You can't make this stuff up. This is, listen for yourself. It's unbelievable.
Evans' career has been defined by pushing for changes in how justice is administered. One of the most significant, his effort to reduce the role of money in deciding who stays in jail before trial. That came years before Illinois ultimately eliminated cash bail statewide.
It made no sense. There should never have been cash bail in the state of Illinois. At the same time, there has been no increase in crime being committed by people who are no longer subject to the cash bail system.
Really?
Yeah, he literally falsely claims, that crime did not rise as a result of the end of cash bail.
Well, it's very interesting because the state's attorney, Eileen Burke, is out with an op-ed in the Tribune today, and she says Illinois became the first state in the nation to abolish cash bail under the Safety Act. Yes, of course, first in the nation.
That's the worst name. Yeah, Safety Act.
Previously, judges would set monetary bonds largely based on the seriousness of the offense. Under the Pretrial Fairness Act, with money no longer a part of the process, the critical question is whether the defendant poses a danger to the public. There's been plenty of people left out on electronic monitoring from Chief Judge Evans's office. He runs this EM process, and they have gone on to reoffend and reoffend.
Oh, yeah. Here's Eileen Burke.
We now have 87 people charged with murder or attempt murder on electronic monitoring. We have 181 sexual assault defendants on electronic monitoring. So currently, there's 3,200 people on electronic monitoring. The Chief Judge's office just gave us a stat of 10 to 12%, so over 300 people are AWOL. They have no idea where they are.
Well, I know where
not a
one
big deal
ended up.
if it's
One ended up in Governor Pritzker's backyard. A 10-time convicted felon was missing off electronic monitoring for 11 days, and they found him in our governor's backyard at his Gold Coast home. And also, Tim Evans, remember, he was a loser alderman, loser judge. So what did Toni Preckwinkle do? Guess what he's doing now?
What?
She got him appointed to the Illinois Appellate Court, where he's going to resume doing dire damage to the justice system. And also, too, speak proper English, okay? Is that too much to ask for a judge who's now on the Illinois Appellate Court? Toni Preckwinkle, she's the puppet master. She decides who goes where.
Well, and the Democrats let her do that. Let's put a pin on them. The Democrats who are in leadership, they let her run things that way.
Why?
I don't know what she's got on them. She must have something.
She gave us Brandon Johnson. How's that working out? She put, because Richard Boykin voted against the sugar tax, so she got mad, and she put Brandon Johnson, because he lived in Elgin, she put him in that West Side neighborhood and said, you're going to run for county commissioner. And then you're going to keep your CTU gig, and now we need you to be mayor.
Oh, and the Democrats want no kings. How about a queen?
Queen. Yes. All right. Thank you so much for making this part of your day. Scott Jennings is next. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 11 a.m.